Use the figure to the right to answer both questions 1 and 2. Given segments NQ parallel to PO. So since we know these sides or these segments are parallel, that makes triangle MQN similar to MPO by angle. Since our corresponding angles would be congruent and this angle is congruent to itself. So now we can set up our proportions since we know the triangles are similar. On number 2, to solve for y, you have to be really careful not to try to use the part over part relationship. The part over part relationship can only be used when you're using these parts that are created by this segment intersecting these two sides. So y is not one of those parts. Y is a side of the large triangle. So on this one, we're going to have to use a small triangle to large triangle relationship, not a part to part. So if I want to do small triangle over large triangle, I would put the 6 over the y, since those are the sides that correspond to each other, and I have small triangle over large triangle. So my other ratio also has to set up as a small triangle over a large triangle side. You can use this side if you want to, but since you found the value of x, you could potentially get y wrong as well if you use a wrong value for x. So I would suggest using the side where you're given those numbers to use. Now, what you're going to have to be careful is you're not going to use the 5 in this ratio because it's not a side of either one of the triangles. So when you do small triangle over large triangle side, the 15 is a side of the small triangle, and the large triangle side that it corresponds to will make you have to add those two, 15 plus 5, which is 20. So now I have small triangle over large triangle equals small triangle over large triangle in both ratios. So now I can cross multiply to solve. 15 times y is 15y. 6 times 20 is 120. And then dividing both sides by 15 gives us y equals 8.